Hey, welcome to our review of the Qatar Grand Prix and Sprint. We're going to cover both events in the video, so get ready and we're going to let you know about one of the hottest races of the season. Track temp was over 31 degrees and over 50 degrees in the cockpit.
It's too hot for me.
It's hot out there.
Oscar Piastri is in the lead and he holds on to it going into the first turn over Lando Norris. But on the first lap, we already have a problem. Liam Lawson is out of the race. He lands himself into the sand trap. Now the safety car is out. By lap 3, we go back to green flag racing. But on lap 4, we have a new problem. Logan Sargent is out of the race and causes another safety car by going off track in his Williams. It's looking like this is going to be Logan Sargent's only year in F1.
I'm going to lose my job.
You get fired! You get fired! You're fired! You hear me?
Logan's job definitely is in jeopardy. Now, George Russell's in the lead at this point in the race, but by lap 11, Oscar Piastri is able to pass him and take over the first place in the sprint race. Then we have disaster. Ocon collides with Hulkenberg, which also takes out Sergio Perez. All their races are over. Sergio Perez does not have any luck, and this also effectively ends his challenge to Max Verstappen. So Max Verstappen is crowned world champion, even though Oscar Piastri is able to win the sprint race. It's his first win, but the world champion now, third time in a row, is Max Verstappen. This is incredible for Max Verstappen. This is his third world title in a row. He's in rare air. He joined the likes of Jack Brabham, Niki Lauda, Ayrton Senna, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, Michael Schumacher, all who are three-time world champions. So congrats to him, also the Red Bull team for providing Max the incredible car that he's driven this year. We're going to know some things. The heat in the Qatar was very incredible. It was over 31 degrees Celsius and also over 50 degrees in the cockpit for the drivers. We're going to highlight that more during the actual Formula 1 race, the second part of the video. Also, we're seeing the emergence of Oscar Piastri. He won this sprint race, but it's showing that McLaren actually have two really good drivers. Not only one, we knew Lando Norris was a great driver, but now we're seeing that Oscar Piastri. So congrats to all the winners of the sprint race, and part 2, we're going to be covering the Qatar race. We're going to be talking more of the issues that were happening at the Qatar race with safety, with the tires. Also, just the heat was unbearable for the drivers. Being this is Max's third actual title, this is an incredible feat. Also, Max only needed to come 6th in the sprint race. He came 2nd, but he only really needed to come 6th. So the championship was not in doubt. So we're going to move on to the second part of the video. So how about you give us a subscribe? We're trying to build the subscribers up. So the Qatar race was held the second day and it was incredible heat. It was incredibly hot. Again, over 50 degrees in the cockpit, as you see with Hamilton visor up before the race. Now, the race is about to begin. Max Verstappen's on pole and we go into the first turn and George Russell and Lewis Hamilton collide. The teammates collide and Lewis Hamilton's day's over. He actually loses a wheel as his car goes off track. He was okay. His race day was over. George Russell has to go into the pit for changing of his front wing and tires. Lewis Hamilton was angry with George Russell, but after he saw the replays, he apologized to George Russell after the race. Hamilton did have a good qualifying, but it was all for nothing because he was back in the paddock by lap 3. So the sprint race had a lot of shuffling, but because of the tire issues and the issues with the curbs, they mandated 3 mandatory pit stops, which kind of ruined the race because there was a lot of shuffling, but we're gonna go through some details. Now, it was so hot, the tires were actually separating. So you couldn't race for more than 18 laps at a time on a set of tires. Also, a lot of drivers were going over the track limits. You see Sergio Perez here. He got caught with a 5-second penalty. Also, Alex Albon in the race got caught with a penalty for track limits. I think the track limits might have been caused by fatigue with all the heat. The reason for the 18 lap limit set by the FIA, the tires seem to have had a potential to separate. On the tire compound between the tire carcass cords and the sidewall was revealed Friday that they could have been separating between turns 12 and 14 when the car would be under high load. Logan Sargent had to retire from the race on lap 42. He was too ill to continue. So that was another retirement caused by the heat. It was so hot, Esteban Ocon claimed to have thrown up twice in his car. You see here George Russell coming to the pits with his visor up, and you see the amount of sweat on him. And we had Max Verstappen stopping one last time. With the mandatory 3 pit stops, it really the race, there was no continuity to the race. And also, we already knew Max Verstappen was crowned world champion. He actually won the race, and he won it by a comfortable margin of over 4 seconds over Oscar Piastri, and Lando Norris came third. So it was a great win for Red Bull, but Red Bull was already confirmed as Max Verstappen getting his World Drivers' Championship, and the week before they won the Constructors' title. But the story of the race was the heat. Over 73% humidity, 31-degree air temperature, over 50 degrees in the cockpit. I've never seen drivers so exhausted after the race. See Max Verstappen sitting down, Oscar Piastri laying down. They could barely even speak to each other in the cool-down room. And we're going to show you the temperature difference between the race that was held in Qatar this month and also December. They're holding the race next year in December, and they need to. It's going to be about maybe 25 degrees Celsius or lower. They can't hold the race anymore in this temperatures. It was dangerous for the drivers. I'm not even going to rate this race. I'm going to give it a rating of NA, just because with all the problems with the mandatory 3 pit stop and the tires potentially separating. I'm not going to do that this race. Also, I'm just going to let you know more videos coming into the channel. We're going to COTA and Formula 1. Circuit of Americas in Texas. That's going to be a great race. MotoGP is going to Phillip Island, so we're going to be covering that too. So congrats to Max Verstappen. This is Max Verstappen's 3rd World Drivers title in a row. Well deserved. We are watching a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent with Max Verstappen. Ever since he stepped into Formula 1, he's only excelled. So I hope you enjoyed the video. More racing videos to come on the channel. Redbet, signing off.